The elementary teacher who gave a tell-all interview mocking senior White House advisor Stephen Miller for being a glue-eating loner is back from having been placed on leave by her school. Nikki Fisk, 72, who taught Miller in the 3rd grade at Franklin Elementary in Santa Monica, California, had given an interview to The Hollywood Reporter in which she bashed Miller while he was a child. "I remember he would take a bottle of glue, we didn't have glue sticks in those days, and he would pour the glue on his arm, let it dry, peel it off, and then eat it," she said in the story that ran on October 10th, adding that he was a strange dude. The Los Angeles Times reported that just after a week of being placed on leave, Fisk has been allowed back to her classroom. After the interview was published, Fisk was placed on home assignment from the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, while the California public school system determined whether she had violated any rules about disclosing to the public information about students. School officials did not reveal whether Fisk had been disciplined, but they did confirm that she had been allowed to continue teaching. "We have conducted a thoughtful review, and we have addressed the matter with the teacher," a spokesperson for the school district told the Times. If she faced any punishment for her actions, it could have included things like having a warning or letter added to her personnel file, or having her home assignment be recorded as a paid suspension. Fisk has avoided the media and appears to have disabled her Facebook account since the incident. Share this article. Share in The Hollywood Reporter story. Fisk also said that despite keeping up with his classmates academically, Miller struggled socially. Fisk said that he was a loner who had a messy desk and would often isolate himself from classmates. "Do you remember that character in Peanuts, the one called Pigpen, with the dust cloud and crumbs flying all around him? That was Stephen Miller at 8, she said. Registered Democrat Fisk's Facebook page was filled with liberal sentiments such as support for gun control and comparisons of President Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. "Wake up, people who support Trump. His administration is an abomination," she wrote in a post last year. Miller, 33, is a top policy advisor to Trump and has been seen as the architect of several controversial administration policies, including the entry ban on nationals from certain Muslim-majority countries and the arrest of parents who illegally crossed the southern border with children. Fisk's interview provoked outrage from some conservatives who saw a teacher dishing dirt on a former student's childhood as beyond the pale. Her comments are, strangely, not the first to be made about Miller's time in 3rd grade. In June, classmate John Mueller wrote a tell-all for Politico about his time in Fisk's classroom with the boy who would go on to help write Trump's inauguration speech. Mueller sat next to Miller, but said the pair were never friends. He, like Fisk, said Miller was difficult to get through to, and even claimed the 8-year-old had divided their table in half to establish a clear boundary. He especially was obsessed with tape and glue, Mueller wrote. Along the midpoint of our desk, Stephen laid down a piece of white masking tape, explaining that it marked the boundary of our sides and that I was not to cross it. The former Harvard lecturer said he found it intriguing that for a child so determined to keep others out of his space, he took no care to maintain that space, and recollected Miller's desk being sticky and peeling with pencils and bits of paper everywhere. Like Fisk, Mueller also recalled Miller's fascination with glue. When Stephen wasn't picking at the tape dividing the desk, he was playing with glue, he said. He liked to pour it into his hands, forming grime-tinted glaciers in the valleys of his palms. glue thusly in hand, he deployed his deepest powers of concentration to watch these pools harden.